Hello everyone, welcome back to Trains on Tuesday. We've got a couple of things to talk about before the main subject of today's video, which again will be trying purchases for 2018 part 2. So we start off with my newest coffee mug, the Puffing Billy, Australia's premier steam railway. Beautiful mug sent to me by the Mr. Dan 01 from Victoria, Australia. Thank you, Dan. I love it. It's gonna have a place somewhere up in my display cases. Lovely cup of coffee. Now the second thing we're going to look at is when Bongo and Chopper did their tour about 3 weeks ago, one of my regular viewers, I think it was Oscar, noted that this fellow here had fallen over. He had fainted. But what nobody saw was the reason why. If we stand him up again, we'll see that he's facing over towards the bank. And right there's a gentleman going into the bank and he's lost his head. His head's laying down beside him. No idea what happened there. Anyway, that'd be enough to make anybody faint seeing that. So, a week or so ago, maybe a little more, I got a call from my hobby shop and they said, we've got more trying in. Would you like to have a look? And I said, yes, of course. Expecting it to be more boxcars without doors and that sort of thing. But anyway, I headed off down there and took a look, and oh boy, was I in for a surprise. Let's have a look, see what I got. Now, one of the first things I saw when I got there was this, and I thought, oh, I've got an electric, a British electric, and a Pullman car, and a Great Western tender. I thought, I wonder if the pantographs are on this thing. So I picked this up and turned it over. Thought, oh no, no pantographs. Then I thought, oh, it's not supposed to have pantographs. I wonder what it is then. So I went to pick it up and left the motor behind. And I thought, boy, and I looked at it and I thought, is that a class 47? What is it? Then I realized, no, that's a class 31. This was laying down in the bottom. That's the fuel tank. And on top of the screw was some funny knurled looking thing, which turned out to be the nut that's in there. You can see the brass nut in there. So that's come out. That's got to be glued back in with some super glue. And then the motor, I picked the motor up and I thought, oh, that's got to have a clip, and oh, there's the clip. So I quickly put the thing together and it looked okay. What else have I got here? I thought, pull this over. Oh my, a Hall. And it's in great condition. Wow. More track. An RP14 power pack. Now this is 220 to 250 volt input, so it was made for British use. But I do have a transformer that will boost the 110 volts that we have here up to 220, and then this will reduce it back down to 12. So I've got to give that a try once I get a plug on it. No plug on there. Oh boy, we're off to a good start. What else did I get? So there's the 31 on the tracks and ready to go. We'll pull this one up in front. That is boxcar R114. Now the story behind that one, why I picked that one up, is I had one of those as a child and I gave it away. I can remember doing that. And I did replace it. I do have another one of these. I did replace it, but I wasn't happy with that one. This one I'm much happier with. It has the bayonet couplers, as I call them anyway. Real sharp things on there. And it's a reminder of childhood. So there's that one. Now this one here, that is, I think, the gondola. R11, no, that's not. That's R111, the hopper. R111CN, the hopper. This has a Canadian number as well, other than R111. It is the 1111 in the Canadian catalogues. I'm going to move the 31 out of the way so it's not distracting here. Now I have seen 2 or 3 of these over the years. I do have another one. It's in worse shape than this one, but this one's busted here, busted here, busted here. It's badly creased up here. Definitely not in good shape. It's been glued back into its frame, but it's the best one I've ever seen, so I picked that up basically for nothing. I picked up another gondola, R116. I have several of these now. Again, bayonet couplings on this one. They're quite old. Metal bogies, trucks. And on to the ones that really thrilled me. The R113 drop side wagon in beautiful condition, like new. The R15 United Dairies milk wagon, again, best condition I've ever seen. These are later ones. They're all plastic frame, underframes, pinpoint axles. They are later ones. As a matter of fact, they don't say trying underneath. That part of the casting was burred off. Doesn't say trying Hornby, doesn't say Hornby. It's just a blank plate underneath there. But that's definitely what they are. Cattle wagon R122. And this one here, they look like transformers to me there, but the catalogue lists that as the R340 container wagon. All of these in beautiful condition. My second horse box, R123. And then the Triang container wagon is what the catalogue calls this one. Triang container wagon. Beautiful, beautiful condition. All the transfers on that are in good shape. R561. My third or fourth bogie bolster wagon. R110 or R212, depending on the application of it, I guess. And bringing up the rear, as it should, of course, another guards van. Now that one does say Triang underneath it. BR brake van, R16. In addition to the Pullman coach that we saw in the box, there was another one. I don't think these were bought in a set because they are both the car and my third car number 79, the brake. So I now have in these Pullman cars, I don't know, about 9 cars now, 9 coaches. I can put together quite a nice train. It'll be fun putting that together. Okay, we're going to go on down the line, take a look at some more stuff. Here we go. This is the RT42 controller, and it still contains the label saying speed control unit. If I can get the light right here. Do not connect direct to mains electricity supply. Read the instructions carefully. Television interference suppressors fitted. Back in 1958, when I got my first train set, this is what I had for a controller. You plug 12 volts into here, into these 2 sockets here, and here, these 2 sockets here go out to the track. Myself, I had a car battery hooked up into there, but it wasn't long before I needed a proper power pack. So that's that one. Also in there is this one here, which is a P42. This has a resistance switch, high and low resistance. Again, it takes 12 volts in the back, 12 volts out the front to the track through the rheostat, forward and reverse. Next one up, Power Pack PA100C. Quite interesting. It's even got the little triang badge on here though. Oh, HO gauge triang badge mentioned on there. Circuit breaker protected. Input 115 volts, 60 cycles. Output 14 volts DC. Lines Brothers Canada Limited. Made in the USA. I've tested this one. It works fine. On to the next one. Now this one I'm not really sure of the model number. It is stamped into here, and different stamps we use. It's either a P55S1 or P55SI. It could even be a P55ST. This is like the controller I had in my later years in England, in my teens. This is what I ran my trying stuff with. Also in the box was a HO stone arch bridge. That's a Kibri kit, 12.5-inch radius. I do have some Roco track that can go on there. There were 2 Pico turnouts, and they look rusty, which they shouldn't be because it's nickel silver, but they're really dirty. They're going to take some cleaning up. Some North American Atlas track and a couple of pieces of Pico track. So I've got the instructions for the P42, the RP42 circuit control. That was this guy. And it tells you how to hook that all up and how to run it as a second track control through this one. I've got another sheet here which is a little confusing. It says RS51, and it was dated the 1802 60 something. It wasn't printed quite in the right place there, so whether it was 61, 63, 62, who knows. The exact year didn't come out, but it was in the 60s anyway. So there's that. Okay, to wrap this one up, we're going to head down here to this box and take a look at the track that I got with this. In Super 4 I got another crossing. I got another really beautiful condition Y point. I now have 4 of these. 5, I think, right-handed points, all in pretty good condition. 1 left-handed point. Quite a bit more track, including some curves and some straights. I got quite a lot of Series 3 track, curves, straights, and 2 power points in super condition. Power operated points. They can be operated manually, of course, and power operated. Now, this stuff here, some of you may never have seen any of this stuff. I believe this is what Triang referred to as standard track. Pre-ballasted, you might say, all in the casting there. I have 2 different curvatures there, lots of straights, including uncouplers, and 4 points, 2 left hand, 2 right hand. Now I have hooked all this up and run trains around it already, and they work beautifully, absolutely beautifully. This is not the only standard track I have. I have another box full of it somewhere. I just need the room to set all this stuff up. Anyway, that concludes, almost concludes. I got one more thing to talk to you about. Actually, it's a couple more things to talk about. If we take these 2 wagons here out of what I got, and then onto the Class 31, put the horse box, the cattle car, the United Dairies, the container wagon, the drop-side wagon, and the guards van, we're missing 1 car in order to make up set RS651. I don't know if I can focus on that, probably not. Anyway, we see on RS651 the Class 31, the horse box, cattle car, United Dairies, a little flat car, a little flat wagon with cable drums on, the containers, the drop side, and the guards van. Almost got it. Now, the last thing I have to talk about this is in regards to the Albert Hall. I was so googly-eyed and thinking it was in such great condition, and then I got it home here. I bought it and I got it home here, put it on the track, turned the power on, and it kind of turned over, but it didn't really want to go. Didn't want to go at all. And I tried a couple of times. I thought, well, I got to service this, I guess. Not unusual. And then, all of a sudden, I noticed something was wrong. Terribly wrong. No cylinders. No drive rods. They're missing. So I got a Triang Albert Hall without cylinders and without drive rods. If anyone knows where I can get those sort of things, please let me know. Although that may only be part of the problem here. Triang motors are notorious for chewing up the gears if they are not installed absolutely correctly. So I got the top off of this one to have a look-see, and the motor looks good. Everything looks fine. But if I take a look on this side, somebody's had this motor off of here, and when they put it back, they pinch the wire. They pinch this brown wire underneath the motor. It's supposed to hang free. And the motor is lifted slightly. Just slightly lifted off the frame there. And that has resulted in the worm pitching into the drive wheel And there, if it will focus, come on. Well, we'll have to do the best we can. All here is chewed up brass, both from the worm and from the drive cog. They are in bad shape, and it's simply because that wire was pinched in there, and that pitches the worm into the cog, the drive cog. So she may end up just being a parts vehicle. I don't know. Shame. Should have had my eyes open. I wouldn't have paid quite so much. I probably still would have bought it though. Okay, we're going to wrap up the session with the Class 31. I have not serviced this just yet, so it's running a little bit rough, but it does run. Bye-bye. See you again next week, folks, for more Trains on Tuesday. Bye.